Okay, we should be there any second now.
That's looking like it.
Yeah, that should be up there now. Okay, welcome people on Facebook. Sorry it's taken us a few minutes to get where we are. But we had a few technical difficulties getting everything aligned so that we can all talk and then broadcast to everyone on Facebook to watch us. So anyone who is on Facebook and watching, if you want to ask any questions, feel free to post them in the comments around the video. We'll try and pick these up as we go and try and answer them. Quick introduction to what's happening tonight. This webinar has been, or launch of Targa Rallying for 2021 is being hosted by me, Graham Rayburn. I'm an experienced rally navigator, event organizer, including the nuts of Targa. I run a training business called Rally Navigation Training Services, and I run a variety of different training courses, many of which are relevant for Targa rally competitors, particularly navigators. And I'll be talking to different event and championship organisers, promoting their events and what's coming up in 2021. So we look forward to telling you about our events and look forward to hearing people keen to enter them and find out more.
Yeah, Graham, there's still people messaging saying they can't see it.
Right. It's definitely out there now.
Yeah, that link you sent through worked from me. I just clicked on that. Yeah, others aren't getting in.
No, I just got a message saying the live video hasn't started.
So
it looks
apparently
like
people watching at the moment.
The link from the original event doesn't appear to be working. But that link
I think it might be on my page rather than the. Unfortunately, we're getting spammed at the moment in terms of comments. So yeah, quick guide to some of the training webinars I run, particularly those at Targa competitors, special test navigation, learn all about navigating on special tests. For Targas that run jogularity sections, do jogularities. And for anyone who's really a newcomer and wants to learn about going the right way, introduction to road books, learning how to use a Tulip road book. All those webinars are £25 pounds per ticket. But if you book in January, there's a discount code Jan 2021 to save 15%. Everything is available view away on Rally Nav or my page on Facebook. Okay, so moving on, stop promoting myself. Targa Rallying. What is it? So Targa Rallies are all Motorsport UK authorised events. They are a subset of road rallying, so the rules are a lot of the rules are common to road rallying. They are generally organised by various motor clubs all around the UK. You can do most events in a standard car. There's very few that are too rough for even the standard car, but generally there are some limited modifications that make sense. They are predominantly run in the daytime, though there are some events that will run with elements in the dark. The main competition is made up of special tests on private land, so we can have lots of fun. We don't have to worry about Road Traffic Act. And what's really interesting, but also a bit challenging for people wanting to get into Targa rallying is that the events can vary quite significantly. From kind of special tests, which are a 30-second lap of a car park around a few cones, to 5 mile plus tests through forests around large venues. Worthy Farm, Glastonbury is a very popular venue in the southwest. Really long, good, challenging tests in there. So there's a huge variety of stuff that's available to be used. A couple of key little places to look for. Motorsport UK's website is where we can find rules, apply for competition licenses, which even the minimum requirement for some Targas is that all Targas require a competition license from Motorsport UK, but many of them will allow you to use the competition license, which is free. So that's good. I'll also put a plug in. There's a Facebook group called Targa Rally UK, and that is an awfully good resource. Lots of conversations about Targa rallying, promotion of upcoming events. So it's a really good place to keep an eye out for what's happening. So you're probably a bit tired of hearing me talk, so I'm going to move on to let someone else talk, and I'll introduce them. Dave Thomas has been running this Association of Northwestern Car Club Championships for as long as I can remember, which is quite a long time. And all being well, we've got a Targa Road Rally Championship coming in 2021. So Dave, do you want to tell us a little bit about ANWCCs?
Yes, thank you, Graham. Yeah, the NWCC Northwest, we do cover quite a big area. This 2021 is actually my 40th year of running the championships. It's going to be the first time we have a Targa championship up and running. Now, we did try last year, but of course, we know what happened there. All the information is on our website. The calendar there, which includes all the events, it's got about 150 events planned for the year. So we'll see what happens. The Targa, as it stands at the moment, has got 10 rounds, of which the best 7 would count. 3 are in North Wales, 3 in the Lancashire, Yorkshire area, and 4 in the Cheshire, Derbyshire area. So if anybody living north of England, North Wales, North Midlands area, it's probably ideal for them. First one planned at the moment is the Stockport event in May, and every weekend in May has got one. Stockport, Bala, Mid Derbyshire, Kirkby Lonsdale, Sheffield and Hallam. Break then till July when Stockport have got another one. August is the Airedale and Pennine event. September, Clwyd Vale. And October we got CNA running at Trackmorn, the Anglesey Race Circuit. And then the final round will be Knutsford's Targa back at Three Sisters. So all the information is on our website. There's links there to register for the championships. It's £12 registration fee. That does cover you for all our championships, so you can do other things as well and score points. If anybody got any questions, so forth, all the contact stuff is on our website. So look forward to getting some more entries. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Yeah, I'm looking forward. I'm sure. Well, in fact, I know I'm already registered because you sent me an email confirmation, and hopefully I'll get out on a few of those events.
I did send you a card yesterday, actually, in the post.
Very good. Now, another championship which Knutsford Targa, which I'm involved in, is a round of is the East Midlands. Now, Craig unfortunately couldn't make it tonight, but and one of the things to highlight about the East Midlands Championship is it's a bit, I think it's possibly unique. It's a mix of traditional road rallies and Targas. So it gives a challenge for anyone who wants to do both events, both styles of events. Obviously, you can use the same car for both road rallying and Targas. So an excellent championship, 12 rounds across East Midlands, Yorkshire, Northwest, quite a range of events and territories covered. There's a sub category within the championship for anyone who just does the Targas. So if you only want to do the Targas, it's still worth having a look at the East Midlands Championship. You can go for the Targa only awards. I got a quick look at the championship rounds, see when they kick off. I think, yeah, the couple of road rallies to start the year, and then the first Targa. Bit of overlap with Northwest Championship on some of the rounds, but also some Targas elsewhere that will come into the championship. So now someone else who's on the call, hopefully. Oh, I think he might have dropped off actually. Gavin's disappeared. Gavin was on, so let's skip that. Let's talk to Mr. Targa, Alan Wakeman. Oh, Alan, your chance to have a. Hopefully the slides will catch up and be with us in a minute.
I'll talk about ASWMC if you want me to, Graham. Here we go. Right. So, hopefully, well, sorry if you can't see me. The lights just failed in the living room. Typical. Anyway, you're probably better off not seeing me. So, yeah, I've been around Targas for years. Doesn't mean that I know everything, far from it. I'm very interested to hear from people, not right now, about what they think about Targas and especially going forward. And the creation of the BTRDA Targa Championship has been a great impetus to actually go and drive things forward. But again, yeah, I created Targa Rally UK with Nigel Ryan, the Facebook group. So delighted that seems to be the great source of information and chat for most things Targa. I'm an old stage rally driver who has come to various disciplines, including Targas, mainly because I enjoy them and they're lower cost than doing stage events. And with all the doom and gloom about no Rally GB in 2021 and general costs of going stage rallying, it's so encouraging to see the way that Targas are going, because they're growing like anything. If we look at the Bath Festival, that filled all 75 entries within 15 minutes and went on to get 125 entries in total. So it does show that Targas are in great growth, and also for good events, then entries are very much under pressure. So make sure you're there online, get your entries ready to go in straight away. So yeah, I've seen Targas actually develop over the years. As I said, I've come really from stage events, but I'm also seeing people coming and actually starting in Targas. I look upon motorsport as two fundamental areas. There's slidey and less slidey. So those who want to compete on less grippy surfaces, and also those who want to compete on asphalt. And I see Autosolos are a great way in to actually start on asphalt. And of course, Targas, if you want to start on the loose stuff. And of course, all those disciplines, you can actually stay there. But I do organise championships. I'm also an active competitor in many different areas. And I also do some work with John Clavey. I don't know how many of you have heard of Rally App Live, basically GPS rallying. So you don't need marshals. If you've got marshals, use them. We're not making marshals redundant, far from it. Timing App Live, that's there for timing and auto tests, auto solos, and also target tests. And Trials App Live is on its way as well. But I'm very much focused on putting things together to actually go somewhere. I don't want to just put a championship together just for the sake of it. So as you'll see from both CMSG and BTRDA, this is somewhere where I see people actually starting motorsport and actually then driving on in various ways to actually reach the level and in disciplines that they want to. So first, the Cotswold Motorsport Group Championship. You haven't heard from Gavin yet, but the rounds are very similar. The main difference is that with Cotswold, I very much position this as being oriented towards novices, young drivers, and also those who don't want to do a lot of events. So this year, there were 11 events. We've lost the Bath Festival, so we're down one. but there's only 5 rounds to count, and one of those is a marshalling score as well, because we want to encourage people to go out and marshal, because as we know, without marshals, events just aren't going to run. There's also a sub-championship, which is focused on the single venue events. And they are typically single venue events. They're typically smoother, but that means you can go out and compete in a more standard car. So we're looking at people who are just starting off. They haven't got a fully prepared car. They can't go and do the likes of the Bath Festival, which needs a rear cage and harnesses, but they can actually start in. There were some drivers I've seen have gone to the auctions, bought a car the previous weekend, checked it over during the week, and got out and competed the following weekend. And that's just the sort of driver that we're after, or crews that we're after, in safe cars, of course. So it's very much oriented towards those who want a smaller championship, newcomers, under 25s, and we have awards specifically for them. So there's the calendar. Oxford is the only one there that we're not quite sure of as yet. Obviously, the first one is gone already. Hopefully, the Stu Moore at Chivener will be running in March, but again, out of our hands at this stage. We shall wait and see. And there's all sorts of things going on in the background as well, especially with Forestry England affecting the Somerset Seeker. And I know Gavin's working hard to do things with the Exmoor to make it run. There's some great events in there. The Hatsford, well, they all stand out in different ways. But I'm looking forward to doing an event at Caerwent. So that's going to be interesting with all the many roads there and many junctions. So we'll see what happens there. So that's very much the orientation towards on the Cotswold Championship. It's somewhere where people may have done individual events and they want to start moving on and doing a wider championship locally. Now, BTRDA is really the next step. Cotswold has been running for the last 2 years. This is the first year of BTRDA. Again, like other championships, we tried to kick this off in 2020, but as we all know, other things got in the way. So this is the first season. But as we knew that things were going to be very unpredictable, we've kept it very simple. And number one, apologies. We've got a reasonable geography there, but we don't go everywhere. The main reason being we try to get a good balance of events, but also as we focus very much on single venues for the first year, I wasn't able to find some single venue events spread around the country. If you have one and would like to be considered, then by all means let me know, because we're fully expecting this is going to grow like anything. We've got all sorts of thoughts already. You know, BTRDA's background in stage rallying, rally cross trials, etc., as one of the highestly revered is the right way, but considered championships in the country. And we're hoping that the Road Rally Championship will go the same way. But in this first year, as events are spread around the country, we've got COVID, and people may not want to travel too far. We're only 4 events to count, including a marshal score. So you can just do a few local events, travel off somewhere, do your marshalling event, and off you go, you qualify for awards. So those are the provisional events so far. As you can see, it kicks off with a bang in May with 3 events. It would have been nice to spread it out more, but that's the way it is. And we'll take events where we can get them right now. So all subject to a great deal of subject to areas outside our control, but that's the current calendar. Now, this is for those who want to focus on target championships. If we go on to the next slide, there's another area as well, because I don't know how many of you heard of BTRDA All-Rounders, but this started back in 1974, when it looks so stage rallying wouldn't exist. So there was something created to give drivers a chance to go and compete in many other disciplines. And for me, this is an area which just has been hidden for many years, but it's very prestigious to actually take a win here. BTRDA offer their Gold Stars, which is one of the highest levels of award in BTRDA. And it's great because you can go and compete in a wide range of different disciplines. You can see all the 9 categories there. Those are the BTRDA championship rounds. So you can go compete in up to 3 rounds or 3 events in BTRDA championships. 3 categories in total. You can do all those different events, and also you can do speed events, sprints, hill climbs, etc., which are non-BTRDA. So there's, again, best under 25. You can use one car across multiple disciplines. So it's all there, so you get a nice mix. In terms of the cost, under 25s, you have to join BTRDA first. Under 25s in their first year of membership get free membership. To register for the Targa Championship, it's £10, and for the all-rounders, it's £16. Or you can go and register for these individual championships as well if you want to go and specialise in those, but totally up to you. So what we're trying to do, you've got Targas, the new Targa Road Rally Championship, for those who want to focus on Targas. Want feedback in terms of the format, because I'm very, very aware of how Targas vary in format around the country. Many events are single venue, many are multi-venue with tests in various different venues, and some events also include regularities. And it very depends on where you are in terms of the format of Targa you're used to. So that's going to be a challenge going forward in terms of pulling all those different types of Targa together. But again, we're going to be very much driven on what people want. Where do you actually see the future of Targas? What are the issues you see today? Where are we going to go? I can see all sorts of potential issues, but just as David Richards said the other day, in terms of the future of stage rallying, I think the futures of Targas is very much in our hands as well. So let's see what we can think about where we want to go with Targas. It'll never satisfy everybody. If we go for the majority, that should be fine. So everything's on the BTRDA website. My contact details are there. I look forward to hearing from you. And I'll shut up now and let somebody else have a go.
Thank you very much, Alan. I think we've definitely had some issues with how it's gone live on Facebook. I'm getting bombarded with messages. It also doesn't help that someone spamming a load of fake sign-up links onto the page. Anyway, let me see where we've got up to. We're on to some particular events. So I can talk to everyone about the Nuts at Targa. Originally, we were hoping to run this in February. Unfortunately, with COVID and everything, that's not happened. But we are planning to run again in November, which was the date we would have run last year as well. So we're back to running in November. We'll be running a single venue at Three Sisters Race Circuit near Wigan. It looks like we'll probably run 16 tests, totaling about 18 miles throughout the day. Nice compact event, which in COVID times makes life a lot easier. We're very much seeing this as an event to get people stepping up into Targas from auto solos and the like, because we can offer a little bit more. And the longest test we can manage at Three Sisters is around about 2 miles. But yeah, we're fairly active on Facebook. The Nuts at Targa is on Facebook, and we've got our website. So later in the year, there will be information on that available for people. So so I just got more comments coming in. Okay, so that's me on the Nuts at Targa. Now I've kind of lost a bit of track. Berwick Classic.
That's me. Yeah, I'm here, Graham, sitting quietly in the background.
No problem, Graham.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you, Graham. So please tell us all about the Berwick Classic.
Okay. I'm actually more a Saltire rally guy, but I happen to be involved with Berwick Classic as well, so I'm representing them here. My colleague Colin will talk about the Saltire later. Essentially, the Berwick Classic has been running since 1996 and started off as a historic rally event. And as a lot of these events up this end of the country have over the years, they've started including Targa classes, so now nearly half the event is for straightforward modern Targa cars. It's a 2-day event starting and finishing in Berwick-on-Tweed, runs Saturday over Sunday. Excuse me. The intention is to finish very early afternoon on the Sunday so that people can all get home without having to take another day off on the Monday, although it's probably a bank holiday on the Monday anyway. We have something like 17 tests planned on a very wide range of surfaces, from straight grass through gravel, concrete, tarmac, you name it, mud, cow shit, all sorts of things. And interspersed in there are 4 regularities using both public and private roads. Some of those regularities are, I must admit, quite interesting. Some interesting surfaces for them, so should keep people quite entertained, I would say. Obviously, we're having to design it to time with all the various restrictions from COVID, with various socially distanced methods of paperwork, timing, and all the rest of it. We're hoping to automatic time most of it. We've kind of signed up to do that. Obviously, we're running early May, so we're still very much in the lap of the gods as to whether we'll be able to run. We're going to make a decision somewhere around about mid-March, by which time we hope we'll know better. We're of course having to deal with 2 sets of regulations because we run in both Scotland and England, and there haven't been any rallies run at all in Scotland since last March, so they're being a bit stricter than England have been, so we do have that potential problem. We could, if necessary, and we've got plans to do so, that if the Scottish regs stop us running the Scottish bit of it, we'll just beef up the English bit and run it all south of the border. Information will all be on the Berwick Classic Rally website. Not much on there at the moment, but we'll keep people informed as it goes on. But there's contacts on there, people you can get hold of if you want to know more. I think that sums it up, really.
Thank you very much, Graham. Yeah, it certainly sounds a good event. And for me as a navigator, with enjoying regularities, it's one that I'm quite keen on, and I like the 2-day format, chance to do some more and have some socialising with everyone as well, which I think is a real key thing not to forget, that having motorsport where we can socialise and see everyone is really important as well.
Probably be more difficult this year than usual, but normally it is a very sociable event. But I think this time maybe slightly less so by force of circumstance.
Yes, unfortunately. Next slide. Unfortunately, Malcolm couldn't make it in the end, but De Lacy Motor Club in Yorkshire are putting together a Targa rally for the 25th of July. De Lacy have got a long history of running the Yorkshire Round of the British Rally Championship and various other stage rallies, so they've got a long history of competition, but they've not actually organised an event for a while. But they've got use of Catterick, which is an MOD base with a mix of gravel and tarmac roads, and they're looking to put together an event which has got 22 miles of special tests. So if you're up Yorkshire way, or even if you're not, it'll probably be worth a fair travel. De Lacy have got the Targa plan for the 25th of July, details on their website. All the slides that I've used today, I've uploaded, and I'll share the link to that file afterwards. So quite happy for that to be shared left, right and centre. And finally, a chance for Colin to talk and the Saltire Classic up in Scotland.
Okay, thanks. Saltire Classic's been running since 2002. It seems a long time. Possibly feels even longer. Like many of the events in Scotland, it started off as a pure historic road rally with special tests, and in more recent times developed into a target as well. We always did have a class for modern cars, but we formalised that a few years ago when the Targa regulations came out and incorporated a full Targa class. The route for everybody is exactly the same. There's an awful lot of focus on the social side with the event. You'll note there's entries are restricted to 40. That's because the way we operate the lunch halt, where we have a test into a venue where there is lunch for all competitors, and then they do the test in the opposite direction out. The most we've ever done it with was 50, but I don't know that my nerves would cope with that again. There's also a meal for all competitors at the end of the event and marshals to try and get the marshals and competitors together and have a good blether with each other. We're on number of tests vary according to how landowners are appearing. We depend very much on a small number of large landowners. We've been running 16 tests for a good few years now. We have done more, we have done less. It will vary between nice gravel roads to rougher roads and to tarmac. It just depends what's available at any one time. Usually 120-mile road route in Highland Perthshire. Nice scenery if it's a sunny day. And we always incorporate at least 4 regularities. I had a quick check there before. Our regularity distance is probably upwards of 50 miles between the 4 of them. We always start and finish at a hotel, obviously, for the meals, and we do have accommodation packages available for competitors. We have attracted and continue to attract competitors from around the country, from Wales, England, south of England as well, and Ireland, and we try to make it as friendly as possible. The tests are not difficult. Some of them are quite long, maybe up to over a mile. Don't like difficult tests, and there's no reversing. Reverse is for taking your car off the trailer. I think the other thing I might mention, because it isn't represented here, in partnership with Mull Car Club, we also help to run, in partnership with them, the Mull Classic Rally. I don't think there's much more to say about it. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you very much, Graham. I don't think particularly on Facebook that I'm spotting is any questions. Everything I'm getting is about the stream and this person, someone's been spamming me. I've just found a page and something like 700 odd comments of spam on I need to deal with later, which isn't good, unfortunately, but this video will be available for people to watch, so we'll make sure it's shared around. Now, I know we've also got joined on here, don't know if they want to come and say anything, Bob, who runs the championship, the Nescro championship, also Peter Humphreys is on it. Either of you want to say anything about yours? I know we've not got a slide for you.
I'll just say a little bit about Nescro. It's a challenge rather than a championship, so you just need the 3 motorsport condition license. Roughly around about 16 rounds. There's no trophies at the end of the year. It's all just for the fun of it, really. But the Nescro has been going for neck under 20 years now. And as I say, we've got 16 rounds. The first one was Mull, which the Mull Classic, which has of course been cancelled. We have them all in the north of England, and we have 2, 3, 4 in Scotland, I think it is. So we're all varied around in the northern area. That's it. That's all I'd like to say.
Thank you very much, Bob. Thank you for joining. And Peter, you want anything to say for your event?
I think Peter's just observing, Graham. He's Berwick Classic as well. I gave him the link so he could watch.
Yeah, no problem. I'll just answer a question that's come up on Facebook before we close. What is a regularity? What regularities allow us to do is to run some competition on the public highway, although we can also run regularities on private land. Effectively, a regularity is a section of route which is timed at a particular average speed, and there are secret controls to make sure you are doing that average speed as you drive along the route. Now, if you want to know more, have a look at some of my training webinars and I can talk about them in more detail. Generally, targets will tend to be quite simple with their presentation of irregularity and the information provided to help, but they're effectively a test of just the driver and navigator working together to drive a particular route at a set speed, and then there are secret checks, secret timing points which stop you and check that you check that you're achieving that or not. One more comment, Chris Chapman, can we use in-car cameras? No, the Motorsport UK rules as part of road rallies and target rallies, in-car cameras are not allowed. I've certainly had a scrutineer tell me they've asked who they asked to remove cameras from so we could keep an eye on them during the day. Yeah, I think that's probably everything covered. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me. It's been interesting learning. Unfortunately, the technical side's not quite worked as well as I'd hoped, but learning for everyone. This is the first time we've done it. I think it's the first branch of motorsport in the UK that has attempted to try and do something like this. Hopefully we can build on it and keep growing year by year. This video will be up on Facebook, available for people to look at later. We can all share it, etc., etc. So thank you, everyone. I shall now end the webinar and shut the video down and deal with all the spam. Thanks, everyone.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks all.
With that. Thanks. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, cheers.
What is